We want to tell you one of the most important stories in the world, but it gets very little coverage here in this great land of ours. Muslims are persecuting Christians throughout the birthplace of Christianity, the Middle East.
But there is still a haven for Christians in that part of the world. Eric Stakelbeck has the story.
Before Islam's prophet Muhammad died in the 7th century, he declared that no two religions could coexist on the Arabian Peninsula, meaning Islam must reign supreme in the region. Muslim leaders there today take Muhammad's words seriously. Saudi Arabia's Grand Mufti recently issued a fatwa, or religious ruling, that all churches on the Arabian Peninsula must be destroyed. It was a stunning statement by Saudi Arabia's top religious authority, yet it received little attention in the mainstream press, and the Obama administration has yet to comment.
He is giving license to the destruction of churches, by the way, at a time when churches are being burnt in Egypt, Nigeria, Iraq, Pakistan, Indonesia, country after country, sometimes with the worshipers inside them.
Cliff May is president of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies in Washington. He says the Saudi Mufti's statements are part of a troubling pattern.
What we have right now, and this is, I think, one of the biggest stories taking place in the world that most of the media are refusing to cover, is increasing and widespread persecution and cleansing of Christians throughout the so-called Muslim world.
Middle East expert Raymond Ibrahim recently wrote that in the month of February alone, churches and Christian monasteries were attacked or destroyed in 9 different Muslim countries. During that same time frame, Ibrahim noted, dozens of Christians were murdered, beaten, or harassed across the Muslim world, and those were just the incidents that were reported. The so-called Arab Spring, which has seen radical Islamists like the Muslim Brotherhood rise to power, has only made things more difficult for the region's Christians. Everywhere, that is, except in Israel.
Israel's Christian population will always be free to practice their faith. That's the only place in the Middle East where Christians are fully free to practice their faith.
While Christians are fleeing the Muslim Middle East in droves, their numbers have increased by 1,000% in Israel since the nation's refounding in 1948.
Christians are in every aspect, every realm of Israeli society. They're in the Knesset, they're on our Supreme Court, they're in academia.
Israel's ambassador to the United States, Michael Urin, told CBN News that Arab Christians living in the Jewish state are among the most educated and prosperous in the Middle East, and all Christians, citizens and tourists alike, have free access to their holy sites.
And we protect them. Several years ago, there was an attempt to build a mosque in Nazareth right over the Church of the Annunciation. And Israel intervened and stopped that from happening.
Things aren't always perfect. Jewish believers in Jesus have experienced some difficulties over the years. Yet Israel's overall acceptance of Christians is a sharp contrast to the Palestinian-controlled areas of Gaza and the West Bank, where Christians are frequently persecuted and even killed. Eric Stakelbeck, CBN News.
Thanks, Eric. You know, when we point out the persecution of Christians by Muslims, people are saying, well, that's hate speech. That's intolerance. You're intolerant. Well, is it intolerance to tell about murder? These people being murdered? And at the same time, we can congratulate our Jewish friends and our Israelis for their sense of tolerance and fairness that are evidenced in the state of Israel. That's the news. You ask, why doesn't the so-called mainstream report it? Where are the AP guys? Are they asleep? Are they been paid off? They don't report these things? Are they afraid of having the Muslims turn on them and ban them? Well, we'll tell you the truth, because the truth is what will set you free. Well, Lee Webb.